just tell you this.
It's just an opinion.
When I say Naruto is one of the greatest anime of all time, that's not my opinion.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact.
It is a fact stated by the amount of accomplishment. And for someone to say that Naruto, because this is what someone said in the comment, this person said Naruto is not one of the greatest anime because it never had any impact. It didn't popularize. Do you know how many kids have been bullied because of Naruto?
Yeah.
Bullying was at high because of Naruto. Because niggas running like this nigga in the hallway? Yeah. No. When people see that, they wanted to punch you.
Yeah.
What?
And make you a target instantly. Yeah.
And let me just tell you this. I don't see that you love your mama lot. Yeah. It would be a shame if I killed her. Yeah.
Welcome to Anime Mario Report. Your Guerby.
Yo, and this is Jamie. What's poppin', everybody?
What's going on, baby?
Welcome to another fantastic episode of
Another one.
Minority Report. Another one. This is number 114.
Yay! Hell yeah.
Clap it up.
Hell yeah.
Clap it up for us.
Clap it up for us. It's hot.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. Welcome, motherfucking summer.
Don't say we don't do anything for you guys.
Yeah.
Suffering in here for you guys.
Suffering.
To another episode.
I'm wearing this to cover my stomach because I don't want you guys to look at it. We're doing so much for you guys. While I'm hot. It's crazy. You know, when I complain about being hot, people are like, aren't you from Jamaica? Fuck off. All right?
Yeah. Same thing. Haiti also.
It didn't mean I liked it.
Yeah. Say,
I'm here, nigga.
You guys must be used to it. No. It's still hurts.
I hate it there too. Like, no, I do not like the heat at all, nigga.
The heat is terrible. I hate the heat.
It's very fucking awful, bro.
Yeah.
Man. Today, episode
114.
We're gonna talk about the power system in anime. Actually, we're gonna talk about what makes a power system unique in anime. Like, what is the formula? Like, that's what we really want to talk about today. And with that, also, me and Guerby have a little discussion that we've been talking about also off camera that we kind of want to bring in here because we want to hear your guys' opinion on it.
Right.
So the first thing that I want to talk about, the anatomy of it. So
before we get into that, do you want to address the people about where this came from, the stem from, the origins of this?
You
posted a clip.
Go ahead.
And then this clip was about how you don't consider Solo Leveling a great anime yet.
No. I don't consider it one of the greatest anime
of all time.
Yes.
Or it will never.
I don't see it hitting it. The manga's ended, our manhwa's ended, and I just don't see it. And that is in my opinion. Like I said, and even though I give an explanation that there are certain criterias to me that has to be met.
That's why we're going to be talking about it today. From that.
There's certain criteria that has to be met.
Can I be honest with you guys? I don't know if you guys know this, but we don't really.
Go ahead.
I don't want to say we don't care about your opinions because we do, because you're the fans, but also like for people who are like telling us like insulting. When it gets into like insults, you guys don't know. Obviously, you guys don't watch the anime. Obviously, you didn't read the manga. First of all, that guy that said manga is stupid, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a manga. It's manga.
It's
one guy. It was one guy that was like trying to assault Jamie's intelligence.
People are gonna come with it. Let me just say this. Let me.
His anime history is not good.
Let me just put this out there. There are some people out there that push their opinion as facts.
Yeah,
I never push my. I never project. Yes, I never project my opinion as facts. I'll tell you when something is facts, and I'll tell you when something is my opinion.
Right.
And let me just tell you this.
It's just an opinion.
When I say Naruto is one of the greatest anime of all time, that's not my opinion.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact.
It is a fact stated by the amount of accomplishment. And for someone to say that Naruto, because this is what someone said in the comment, This person said Naruto
Right.
is not one of the greatest anime because it never had any impact. It didn't popularize ninjutsu. First of all, that person told me that I said Naruto created ninjutsu. Never said that at all.
Who would say that?
Who would fucking say that? That's like me saying Dragon Ball Z created Ki, which Ki came from Chi,
Right.
from a martial arts from China,
Right.
which is the life force, and then that's what they push out of them becoming a power. I never say that. It all stems from something.
Or that's like saying Jackie Chan invented the drunken master. No, that's been around way before that movie was made. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's silly.
Something popular or something. And saying that Naruto didn't mainstream anything because anime was hard to watch and Naruto wasn't like out there like that. What are you talking about, my nigga?
That's silly.
Toonami had Naruto because we were all watching it. Just like Dragon Ball Z and the thing. It got so popular that Disney bought the fucking rights for it.
Yep, about Shippuden.
What are you talking? And I'm talking about I'm talking 2005.
Yeah, early. Over 10 years ago now.
So you come in and you're telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about.
20 years ago. Wow, that's crazy.
It's crazy, right? You telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Blatantly stating your opinions instead of facts about stuff. I'm sorry that your solo leveling is not
fandom. Your solo leveling fandom
is not on.
It's so big.
Is not up. It's not up there yet as an impact when it comes to Naruto. Right. I'm not saying solo leveling is not popular. I'm not saying it hasn't made an impact.
And by the way, he's not saying solo leveling. But this is the thing. I think they're hearing you saying it's not gonna be one of the greatest or it's not the greatest, and they hear in their mind the translation is that solo leveling is trash. No,
listen to me.
That's not what it means.
There are people in the comments that are saying it's trash.
There are people saying,
but if you look at my replies, all my replies, like, I wouldn't go that far to say it's trash. It's a good story. Yeah. Every time someone comments something negative, I always state in the comments that that's not what I'm trying to convey.
And just because you say an anime is not the greatest, or it's not that good, or it's whatever, doesn't mean it's trash or no one should be watching it. That's silly. That's a silly place to. Because I feel like when I was reading the comments, a lot of them were like they were trying to insert things that you were not saying.
Exactly.
He didn't say any of these things.
There's a person who went in and said mid-piece. I'm like, we weren't even talking about One Piece. What the fuck?
Hey, you guys be careful with One Piece. That's that's Jamie's soft spot.
But I'm just like, this is so unnecessary.
It's so unnecessary. What? Yeah. I don't know. It's like it's weird because you people talk about. I don't know if people don't understand, like, the amount of episodes an anime gets is a reflection of its popularity or the reflection of its success. So when you have an anime like Naruto, is now with Boruto, it's like 1,000 episodes in that. Over 1,000. That tells you how successful and how popular it was. For you to say it had no impact, it's silly for that to get that many episodes, that many chapters. You know what I'm saying? In the manga. So you're just wrong. Factually, you're just wrong.
This made no sense. Like, let me just tell you this. And I put this in a statement. Do you know how many kids have been bullied because of Naruto?
Yeah.
Bullying was at high because of Naruto. Because niggas running like this nigga in the hallway? Yeah. No. When people see that, they wanted to punch you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What? And
make you a target instantly. Yeah.
And let me just say you this. I don't know if I look young because I never thought I look young, but this person was talking to me like as if I wasn't there. He just like, it wasn't popular.
It was the height of when we were kids.
I was there.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up during that time, bro.
Yeah. We was in high school.
I am 30. Listen to me. I am 33.
Yeah.
99. Like 99 and 2000 go up is my year of anime. These are the time of my period when I remember everything. I'm talking from middle school to high school. Yeah. That's my time. I don't know if I look young to you or something because you were talking like I was born in 2005 or 2006 because I'm like, what? I was there, my nigga. I know.
We had the impact. When Naruto fought Sasuke, that was a big thing in school.
Yeah.
I remember coming to school and all my anime niggas, we wasn't out there with it. We was all secret.
Yeah.
We was all whispering, yo, did you see
Go
that?
to computer
Naruto
class
versus
to
Sasuke?
watch it. What?
Yeah, and watch the fight. It was like, it was such a great fight. Did you see it? It was a big deal. So when you say it had no impact, it's silly. And I know you love Solo Leveling, but to say two things could be true. Naruto can have an impact, and Solo Leveling could be a great anime at the same. It doesn't change. One doesn't make one lesser. So it's weird that you're trying to diminish Naruto for the sake of saying that, oh, Solo Leveling is better, or Naruto didn't have the impact like you said. And I think the example, I don't know if it was his example, but Arise. That was like, Arise.
They gave Arise, and
we'll see.
And I said to him, because Guerby said this also, and I said to Guerby, I said, I won't deny it, but it's debatable.
It's debatable.
And I said that's my thing with it. It shouldn't be debatable because like Hansign with Naruto, Bankai, those stuff, a lot of those stuff, they're not debatable, and that's my problem with Arise. And I said maybe I need to go further into it. Maybe I need to go more because what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. And guess what? But matter of fact, there's two coins to this. Me and Guerby have two different opinions on a lot of it, and we do meet in the middle or very mutual with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because when Guerby brought this up with Arise, the first thing I said to him is that my main reason why I think I said it's debatable is because there's no world building around Arise. It's mainly just for Jinwoo. And that's the thing with me for it. Because when it comes to other power system, there's world building. Because ninjutsu, all the ninjas, that's what they learn. You know what I mean?
Some can't. Some can't learn certain
aspects. Like Lee, if they can't learn it. But majority of them, majority of the people in the world, in the ninja world, can learn it.
Yeah.
Because Bankai, not all of them can learn Bankai.
Not everybody learns Bankai.
Only Captain gets Bankai.
Mostly Captain.
You know what I mean?
Learn Bankai. Yeah.
But they still have spiritual pressure. With spiritual pressure, is not deemed to just bleach because Yu Yu Hakusho use spirit as the same thing as spiritual pressure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even
not
before
copying,
that,
paying homage, right?
Inspiration. It's not even paying homage. It's really just it's just the style of power that they wanted to use at that time. Just like how many of them has used different system as using Ki.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z is not the only one that used Ki. There's so many anime. Did they steal it from Dragon Ball Z? No. Or did Dragon Ball Z steal that from Fist of the North Star? No, I don't think so. I think they saw it and they're like, all right, let's
also it's cultural too for them too.
Yeah.
It's like Ki is what they use.
Japanese really romanticize Chi from China. They love that.
Yeah.
And they use a lot with it. And nothing is wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a cultural thing. It's not even like stemmed just from just one thing. It's such a huge cultural thing that you can't really call it copying or stealing. It's just using it and creating your own uniqueness to it, I should say.
Our main argument is that just because some one group or people or let's say an anime use something doesn't mean another one can't. That's it.
Gotcha.
Nothing, just because one person uses or said this word or used this word doesn't mean that whatever. And that's what I think some of the thing he was saying. Well, ninjutsu wasn't popularized by Naruto. Ninjutsu was already a word that already existed. True, but that doesn't mean that Naruto didn't bring it to the mainstream.
So
because how popular.
I looked up something and I want to hear your opinion.
Okay, good.
This is about solo leveling power system. So I looked it up because we go back and forth. I'm like, let me look it up. And then I want to hear your opinion. So I said, is solo leveling power system unique? Right? This is what I asked. And between the manga and everything, this is true. This is what ChatGPT gave me. After access to it. This is the paid version, by the way.
Right.
My girlfriend paid version.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for that. It says, short answer, no, not really. But it's popular for a good reason. What is it? System-based power granted to protagonists, Jinwoo, by a mysterious entity. Includes quests, levels up, item, and stat sheets. Why it's familiar? Inspired by MMORPG mechanics and isekai tropes. Similar to the game, Log Horizon, Sword of Art Online, and even Diablo-style games. Why it feels fresh? Stylist execution. Sleek art, clear stakes, arise. Skill is iconic, but is essentially a solo necromancer perk. What it lacks, no larger societal system tied to the power. That's what we're talking about. Only Jinwoo has the system. No deep consequence or philosophical cost. He mostly gained power with minimal downside. Summer Judgment, it's entertaining, not unique.
I'll argue.
Power fantasy done right, but not world defining. All right, what do you think? I know it's the ending part.
Yeah, there's
What do you
one
think?
thing that I would disagree with. Two things.
So let me read the last part.
Okay,
I
good.
saw your face at the last part.
Okay.
So it says what it lacks. No large societal system tied to powers, only Jinwoo as a system. No deep consequences or philosophical costs. He mostly gains power with minimal
That.
downside. So the judgment. It's entertaining, not unique, power fantasy done right, but not world defining.
Yeah.
What do you think about that statement?
Well, first part, when he says that there's no downside to it, there is a downside. Jinwoo is not the kind or as kind as he used to be.
Is that enough though?
He's okay with killing people now. So there is a consequence of gaining the power. In terms of that and losing yourself for the power. So there's a philosophical thing going on with him individually. As he gains power, he loses a little bit of his humanity.
All right. Let me ask you a question
Go ahead.
though. I'll give you two examples.
Okay.
And we'll just wait till I give you the two examples, then answer.
Okay.
Do you think it's enough compared to Naruto, who every time he taps into the Nine Tails, he could go on rampage, right? He could attack, kill the village. Every single time, it really damaged him. At some point, it also started to even damaging his
body.
his whole body.
Yeah.
Ripping apart, going through. He doesn't know.
Nine-tailed
He doesn't know
protect him.
friends.
It hurts him.
He doesn't know friends from foe. Dissolve before control.
Okay.
Right? There's a downside to using that power. Okay. Another side. One Piece. When you eat the devil fruit, the downside of the devil fruit is you lose the ability to swim in a world that is completely by water. It's really it's marine base. So everything they're in a ship is in the Navy and you can't swim. So you lose that.
Okay.
There's the sacrifice. Do you think Jinwoo's, after thinking about those, and there's more examples, do you think that Jinwoo's sacrifice compare? Because I think that's what this is probably talking about.
There's a spectrum, right? So Jinwoo is more lower on the spectrum in terms of consequences. The two examples you give are higher on the spectrum in terms of consequences of using the power. I also think the only argument I would go against both of those two examples you give me, in terms of those things having consequences, sure. But if you go over the lifetime of the anime, in terms of the story, they had no consequences. So Naruto hurting Jiraiya was a real thing, right? But Jiraiya didn't die because of Naruto transforming into the Nine Tails. It was pain that killed him. So over the long term of the story, when you go from beginning to end, if you look at the times he transformed over the time space of the entire series, was there a lot of consequence? No, he still became the Hokage. He still ended up having children. He got with Hinata. There was really no consequence to him with the Nine Tails.
Okay.
Over this,
my rebuttal on that is this.
Yeah.
That's overcoming those consequences and still achieving. Because you got to remember this, right? Why do we watch these shows? It's to see the person who's below, he gets this defining power that has something to it. And then he has to overcome it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay. Meaning by training, by failing, by coming up. Like, it's basically, that's what happened. Jinwoo, with his consequences, or whatever you call it, of losing his humanity, how many times has he really suffered through it? There's a way of could have done it, and it's like, for instance, Brotherhood is the best example of that.
Okay.
What's the consequence of learning
Full Metal
to use a
Alchemist.
full metal alchemist?
Brotherhood,
What
yeah.
was the consequence?
Yeah, it's huge.
Brother lost his body.
Entire body. He lost
His entire body.
Yeah.
He lost his
Alchemy
arm.
is very
He lost
risky.
one of his leg.
Alchemy is very risky. Yeah.
Right?
Extreme. Yeah. That's probably the best example. To be
At
honest.
the end, though,
Yeah.
his brother got his body back.
Yeah.
He got his hand back.
His arm back.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
At the end, they overcome
Yeah.
those stuff. But also using that power, the fighting, going to it exactly. Aaron's his name, right? Looking it up. The amount of psychological problem that he went through,
Right.
of feeling guilty for what he did to his brother,
Yeah.
and also just every fucking time it's gnawing at him every time of from using the power, just the psychological
Yep.
shit that he went through.
Yeah.
I feel like if Jinwoo, the system, would have put him at least through something, not losing an arm, not that, but at least mentally, every time he fights, maybe the vision of killing, maybe something, I don't know, that he has to process and overcome.
Right.
I can see something there. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad story. I'm just giving examples of something that could make it a bigger consequence.
The
Though
only thing I could say is, like I said, it's the first.
there is a consequence. I've read the manhwa to it, but it's just still not enough. Because really, Jim partially went through it. I don't want to give any spoilers. Guerby don't like when I do that, so I'll just keep away. But there is something at the end, and the reason why Jinwoo got this power. But the consequence for it, it didn't last for long. That's my thing with it. But go ahead.
Once again, I'm gonna go back to. I'm just giving you a response based on the two examples you gave me. In terms of like, oh, these guys had a bigger impacts in terms of consequences for using power. The power system that's laid out, it's more thought out in terms of there are positive and there's negatives to getting power, right? Once again, my answer is everything's on a spectrum. Jinwoo or solo leveling is near the bottom in terms of consequences for using the power compared to those others. While Full Metal Brotherhood, it's more on the higher end, right?
Oh, that's way
higher on the higher end. So it's just a spectrum. I only gave you an answer because you asked me to give you an answer, and I'm just saying, comparatively, yes. So we have a shorter span in solo leveling. We only have 2 seasons so far. We're talking about only anime here because
the anime that I think
I'm not arguing.
power system has the most. No, because just the anime that I will say have the most consequence with their power, because the most you sacrifice, the more strong your power is, or the most restriction, not sacrifice, the most restriction you have, the powerful you get, and that's Hunter x Hunter. Just like Caprica's power. Everything that Caprica sets to his power is that because he has that powerful limit that he sets to only be used against the spider, makes it incredibly strong. But it also takes a lot of his life spanned away. And that's a trope that, I know anime is used many, many times.
Yeah, that's also in Bleach.
But the sacrifice is very deep. And again, there's more intricate to Caprica's power that we could go into that I think will just take too long. Whatever the case is when it comes to Caprica's fighting style.
Well, just to finish my thought I was saying before, Solo Leveling only has 2 seasons. So we're comparing it to something that has, let's say, Naruto, or let's say One Piece. We're comparing it to things that have a lot more episodes and a lot more seasons. And those stories are more complete. Or one of them is complete already and one is almost completed in terms of One Piece. So you're comparing 2 anime at the early stage. So there might be opportunities in the future for that.
But even though the manhwa is finished?
So we know the manhwa. I'm talking about just anime, is what I said earlier.
Gotcha.
You want to bring in the manhwa into it? Why?
Not so much, but I'm just talking like
now we have to spoil.
No, we're not spoil, but I'm just talking where just the power system is gonna go.
Yeah, but my point is you're comparing. It's almost unfair to compare Solo Leveling to those others, also because of the span of time.
Gotcha. Let's go into something. Let's go into something that we were talking about off here. We were talking about One Piece. We were talking about the concept. There's a concept that One Piece uses, which is eating something and gaining power from it. One Piece. The one thing that One Piece eats is the devil fruit, and then they gain power from it. Do you have all the stuff? You said you looked up, because remember you looked up some stuff.
I sent you some stuff.
Yeah, that.
I think you got something misunderstood when I explained it. When I said eating something, the point is like, because he was arguing, because we started arguing about power systems, and I was like, I can't argue in terms of the uniqueness of power systems. One Piece has a unique power system?
Yeah.
I said yes, but the aspect of the system in terms of eating something to gain power is not unique to One Piece. And so I sent you examples of individuals within other animes eating something to gain power. Either they steal other people's power or they gain power by eating something. Now, do they eat fruit or food? No. Some of the examples I sent you were people eating other people who have a certain power, and now they gain the power.
A lot of video games.
A lot of video games do this.
I refer to that.
Yeah. But those came after.
Remonsters, I know.
The thing I was trying to look up was things before One Piece.
Yeah.
That was the rule that you gave me. You was like, it has to be before One Piece. You got to give me an example. I couldn't find any example of a system like that. Only systems that exist after One Piece are all the ones that they have now, where the power system is that it's eating. But in terms of, there's no system before One Piece. One Piece took an idea of eating, well, like I said, there's demons eating other people and they have certain powers and they take their powers. Or video games like Mega Man. Mega Man doesn't eat anything or anything like that, but if he defeats an enemy, now he gains his power. Or the example I thought was the best, closest to One Piece as a system was a video game, which was Mario. Mario absorbs or he eats some of the things that he comes across in the world when he pumps them up, and then he gains the power permanently until he loses it or until he dies.
Gotcha.
That was the only example I could come up to a system that is close to, and that was before One Piece, was Mario, the video game, from the Super Nintendo days. Right?
We'll go back for, because my thing was this also, again, because my thing was this. Yes, One Piece, the eating something and getting power is not unique.
To One Piece.
To One Piece, eating something.
Yeah.
But what makes One Piece unique is the system of it. The idea of eating something is designed around, it's a world building around it. That's what makes it unique. And you can only eat one. You only gain one power from it. And it's either there's three different types between a Paramecia,
that rule has been broken.
Logia.
That rule has been broken.
By one person only, and we don't know what the fuck he is.
Still doesn't matter.
It's just read the story. There's a reason to the story of him. Nobody else but one person has ever done that.
That rule still was broken.
There's only one person. There's not one person.
It doesn't matter if one person only does it. It's still
nobody else can. Nobody else can.
First, until you know how he did it, you can't say no one else can.
If he's the only person in the world that does it,
that's the story. That's the storyteller deciding not to show us how he did it. So we don't know.
That don't make no sense.
Until you get that information, you can't say either he's the only one that can do it.
He's the only person in the story that we know that done it.
Doesn't mean he's the only one. And it's
not something that nobody else in the story can do.
He's the
as
only
far as our knowledge.
The correct way to say he's the only one that has done it doesn't mean he's the only one that can do it.
There's nobody else in this world based on the rules that are set.
But he broke the rules.
The entire thing.
So
that
means,
one person.
Until we get the mechanism of how he did it, what I say, the statement is still true. It was broken. So that means there's a possibility it could be broken by others.
No.
Until it's revealed, we won't know. But he hasn't showed us either way.
No.
How are you going to say no when he hasn't showed us?
I cannot say that's broken because of one character.
That is breaking the rule.
What are you talking? One person broke the rule.
That's still breaking the rule. What are you talking about? It's still a broken rule. One person
broke the rule.
So is that doesn't break the rule?
One person.
That's all it takes to break a rule.
Doesn't mean
one person.
One person broke a rule that's set in that world that moves from it, and we still don't have an understanding to why and how. That's how much nobody else can do it in the world.
You don't know that.
Yes, Dr. Vegapunk, spoiler alert, Dr. Vegapunk literally said it's impossible.
But he did it.
The smartest person in the world.
It doesn't matter.
He still knows.
It doesn't matter what Vegapunk says.
Yes, it does. Because that's the author. That's the author stating through the character that it is impossible and something is up with Blackbeard and why Blackbeard can do it.
Okay. Did he show or explain how Blackbeard did it? I'm asking you.
What?
Because I'm not reading the manga at all right now. So I'm asking you, did he explain how? Did he explain how Blackbeard did it?
No.
This impossible thing that Blackbeard did he explain how?
No.
Okay.
Nobody that still story does not know
change the
how
fact that he
Blackbeard
broke the rule.
But they kept
It doesn't
saying,
mean the rules are broken.
Because every single time Blackbeard comes on or someone talks about him or someone says, they talk about how weird Blackbeard is. He's very different. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't do regular things that regular humans do. Blackbeard does not comply. His affinity for pain is ridiculous. He cannot take. He's very strong, but he cannot take pain. There's so many weird things about Blackbeard that we do not know. So I cannot use him as an example to say he broke the system for the entire world because a weird person.
When I say break the system, what are you thinking in your mind when I say that?
You said because when I told you there's rules set for it, you said no. Well, it's broken.
So
I said
he broke the rule.
The one person.
Oh my God. So I'm asking you. This is what I'm asking because I don't know what you're fighting against. When I say he broke the rule of you can't have two powers, right, from the devil fruits. And when in your mind, am I saying that other people can do it?
Yes. That's all I've heard from you.
No. I'm saying it's a possibility other people can do it. That's it. It's not definitive because we don't know how he did it. Now, if you want to say Blackbeard is weird, Blackbeard is different, fine.
All right, let me
but until it's shown or explained how he was able to do that to Whitebeard, take his devil fruit,
let me ask you a question.
Then to me, it's up in the air.
But hold on. Let me ask you a question. Why does nobody on Blackbeard's crew have two devil fruits?
It doesn't matter why.
This
literally doesn't matter.
This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. If he knows the secret, or if he knows a way how to do it, why not give it to his 5 tank?
Why would he? But why would he? He's a selfish person.
Why not make them powerful?
Why? If you're talking about an antagonist, this is the problem I have. Most antagonists are selfish people at their root. Why would they share the wealth?
They share.
That's part of the reason why they're antagonists.
Why
would they share?
They share an amount so they're powerful
enough
to
insulate
the protagonist.
But they'll never make somebody more or as powerful as them.
No.
So why would he do that?
He could give them different devil fruit that doesn't compare to. He has the strongest devil fruit in the world right now.
The point is,
nobody can get stronger than Blackbeard. Blackbeard has the most 2 powerful devil fruit.
Blackbeard was on Whitebeard's ship. No one understood who he was when he was on Blackbeard's ship. He killed his captain, right? Or his commander, I should say. Mm-hmm. He killed his commander and stole his devil fruit.
After 20 years of living.
After 20 years of doing he stole. So this guy has a history of not sharing shit with anybody. He could be on a ship with you for 20 years and you not know who the fuck he is or his intentions. So why now he has his own pirate or groups of guys? He might be using them too, the way he used the Whitebeard pirates. You don't know until you know. This is what I'm saying. In terms of the series is not complete and we don't have all the answers. Until those things are answered to me, I'm going to leave the possibility that rule can be broken again by someone else. Now, if you're going to ask me, what is the likelihood, Guerby, of somebody else breaking the rule? I'm going to say it's very low to 0 because it seems like only this dude can do this. Because he's the only dude that could steal somebody else's devil fruit in the first place.
The only person that I think,
and I have another question I want to ask you about the
only people that I think is gonna break this rule is gonna be It's gonna be up
Luffy.
to the board. No.
Most likely Luffy.
I don't think Luffy.
Because Luffy,
the reason why
his power is imagination, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Luffy.
Okay.
Because I don't think they want to over.
There's really no limit to Luffy's power.
Oda doesn't
think about it. When you talk about imagination, that's insane.
Oda
He could imagine having other people's power.
Oda loved making Luffy struggle.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like he
It's a
loved
good story.
making
It's a good way to
making Luffy struggle. I doubt he's gonna make Luffy get so absorbed. You know what I mean? I doubt it.
Which is a weakness of solo leveling, by the way. Which is a weakness of solo leveling, is that Jinwoo doesn't have seemingly currently in the anime. I'm just talking about the anime. I'm not saying anything with the manga. He's too strong. If you write a character into a corner when you know he can beat everybody, that is a weakness of solo leveling for sure.
The Goro say, I think they're gonna have something with that because of their. We don't know what EAM is yet. But we have learned in the last episode, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet, because it already came out since last week, you can watch it, where they explain that they get their power from Emu. That dark, figurally, I don't know what the fuck it is, a shadow.
The true ruler of the world.
The true ruler of the world, basically. So, we don't know how is he giving them power. And anime only, I'm not going to go any further, because there's more to it. Because you got to get to the end of Egg Arc because Dr. Vegapunk is going to explain exactly what the Devil Fruit is at the end. And as a manga reader, it was a lot. And I want you anime onlys to enjoy that moment. So I'm not going to ruin it.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
This is the question I want to know. When somebody dies, right? The process of the Devil Fruit reappearing in the world. How long? Two questions. How soon when somebody dies that their Devil Fruit is reincarnated into the world?
The estimate that they give is about 1 to 2 years.
1 or 2 years. Okay.
The reason why they give that estimate also is because Oda has not fully flushed that out or says it yet. But the reason why they give that explanation is because Dressrosa was exactly 2 years after Ace died when Doflamingo showed up with Ace Devil Fruit. But we also put it at 1 year because he was out looking for it while Luffy was training all of them to find this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we can't put an indication of exactly when it happens. It's not like the Dragon Ball where we know it's like 1 year, then you can go back and look.
Okay. 2, the question is, how did Blackbeard kill somebody and then get their Devil Fruit power?
Which person? Well,
his first guy, his first commander.
Oh, he never ate it yet.
The commander never ate it.
He never ate it yet.
He found the Devil Fruit and he killed him for the Devil Fruit.
Yeah, while he was having it.
Okay,
so the whole Whitebeard crew, all of them found it.
Yeah.
And Whitebeard gave it to him and said, hey, they gave it to him.
Right.
And before he could eat it, which would have been crazy because if he had ate that, this guy definitely would have became one of the... Yeah. Blackbeard has been searching for this Devil Fruit. He's been searching for it. While on this thing, he's been searching for it. And it finally came and he killed him before he could eat it.
Okay, never mind.
Because I guess...
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Because the thing with the story and the manga explained it a little bit more because I know the anime kind of go to it a little bit faster.
Briefly, yeah.
But when Whitebeard gives his crew a Devil Fruit, he tells them the consequence, which is not being able to swim.
Yeah, you're the enemy of the sea.
You're the enemy of the sea. They're right there. You give them a lot, and they think about it. So they don't just eat it right away. Right. And that's what fucked this dude up. Yeah. If he just ate it right away, not saying that, because now in the story, which you guys already understand, Blackbeard is hunting down people with Devil Fruit, killing them and taking their Devil Fruit. Oh my God, I forgot that part. But I don't know how is he doing it. He has a knife. I don't know how is he doing that. So that hasn't been explained yet also. How is Blackbeard killing and taking their Devil Fruit?
So once again,
Blackbeard is going on hunts and taking.
So once again,
because remember the Invisible Man,
the
Invisible Power that Sanji wanted,
Sanji
he can do now.
The clear fruit.
He gave it to his right hand man, the one that used to work in Impel Down.
Right.
He has that power after they kill him, but I don't know how is he taking it. So now I don't know if it's 1 to 2 years because. Or maybe it's a special type of knife. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. So, these are going Whitebeard.
These are going into theory.
Even when it went into Whitebeard. So, Mike. So we didn't need to. I didn't mean to go down that path. But the point I was making, the reason why I brought up One Piece, in terms of compare it, how it connects back to solo leveling is we were arguing about Arise and it being an iconic thing specifically for Jinwoo, not necessarily for the everybody in it, because not everybody can Bankai like in Bleach. Bleach, everybody can Bankai potentially. It's not true, but whatever.
If you get strong enough, you can do a Bankai.
Potentially. But
you know what I mean?
solo leveling, Jinwoo's the only one that can Arise, right? Because he's a necromancer.
Someone said the necromancer is unique to that. Do you consider that as a unique thing to solo leveling also?
No.
The necromancer?
No. Overlord.
Yeah.
He's a necromancer.
I was about
also.
See, I forgot about Overlord.
What was your other example?
No. Someone said that and I wanted to ask you about it.
Yeah.
Go
That's
ahead.
that's
Go
silly.
ahead what you're saying.
There's been necromancers before. Anyway, whatever. And actually, there was one that you told me to watch where the kid, he's reborn. It's an isekai where it's reversed. Instead of going to the past or to another world, he comes to our modern time. You know who I'm talking about? He has white hair.
White hair came to
There was a girl. Okay, let me tell you. I don't want to give it away, but the introduction is that there's a guy. He beats this skeleton monster, and the skeleton monster comes back. They thought they killed him, but all he did was isekai himself into the future.
Oh yeah. No, I know it.
He's a
Yeah,
necromancer.
He's a necromancer. Yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
just wanted to point that out.
That's a good one. Got
That's
you.
another one too. But and that's before solo leveling.
That was
Anyway,
before Soul 11. Yeah.
What I was talking about is, all right, so Arise is only to Jinwoo. So I was like, I thought of an example. I was like, would have been a better example to me if he said Gamo Gamo from One Piece. Only Luffy does Gamo Gamo, right? Oh, Gum Gum for you guys that don't listen to the sub.
Yeah.
It's Gum Gum. Only that is a very iconic move or power, whatever you want to call it, just like Arise. It's the only Luffy does it throughout the whole entire series so far in the series.
That one I can't argue about. That's real.
Yeah. But
Comparing
I was saying
it to the Rasengan.
but that's why my point is you can't compare it to because and the reason why and I said that's the only good example you could bring up because there's certain people can do it. Even the Rasengan, multiple people can do the Rasengan.
Well,
You got Naruto, you got Jiraiya, and you got Minato.
and
all the devil beasts technically can do the Rasengan.
But hold on.
Because it's all the beast ball.
Yeah, the Beast Ball, they have it, but the Rasengan is literally something the Fort created.
Yeah, he did create it. Yep.
The Fort created
He
that.
taught it to Jiraiya.
Taught it to Jiraiya.
Jiraiya
Jiraiya taught it to his son, and Naruto taught it to Komaru. So it's literally by thought. Then now Baruto can do it.
Yeah, actually, that's fine.
There's not a line of.
There's not a lot of
There's
people.
not a lot of people.
But
it's a high level jitsu.
Unique power.
Unique power,
But-
and it's a lot harder than you
Yeah.
think, and you have to have extremely strong wind attributes
Yeah.
to be able to do it, and that's Naruto's
The
main
Rasengan
attribute.
Shuriken,
That one,
that is such a powerful. That's uniquely to Naruto.
and the only reason why Naruto is the only one that can use it
Because
is
it hurts him
because
too.
It hurts you,
Yeah, it cuts.
and it doesn't just hurts you by
Cuts your
because
chakra.
It cuts your chakra, meaning
Yeah.
it cuts your
you could
fucking
never use it
DNA.
again. Yeah, you could never do it again.
Because Naruto has the Nine Tail,
It healed him.
which heals and refresh that.
Right.
Because the Nine Tails,
Otherwise, he would have.
the Nine Tail doesn't just heal your skin; it heals through your atoms, your DNA, your genetics,
I don't know how to say
muscular, everything.
whatever it is.
Because Naruto have that, he can do OP shit like that. But nobody else fucking
He's the
can.
only one that could do that, and it was too dangerous. But to me, that's one of the most powerful jutsus in anime in Naruto, the universe, and it just doesn't. He can't use it because it will hurt him every time.
He used it a lot now since he fully merged with Komaru.
The Rasen Shuriken, yeah.
Yeah, because remember in the war,
Oh yeah, the war, yeah. Oh,
he used it a lot.
Yeah, he does use it a lot. It's
He used it a
cheating.
lot.
It's just basically cheating.
Well, they said one of that nigga was like a fucking 100 man by himself, which is fucking true. His shadows are insane. But go ahead.
So anyway, I was like, but the only reason why we can't call Arise iconic yet is because
I
it's
think
only
it is
been 2 seasons. But
I
it's
think-
only is because it's
I
2
think
seasons.
Arise is iconic in that manner,
Right.
in the manner of a power that's unique to the main protagonist
character, yeah.
that people knows very well and go like, if you say Arise, they know, oh, solo leveling Jinwoo. Just like if you say Mei, you know that's Goku.
He's not the only one that does it.
Not the only one. Master Roshi is the one that actually.
Yeah.
It's a power that's been passed down from Master Roshi Masters and all of
Yeah.
them, and even his grandpa
It's a secret
Gohan.
technique. Yeah.
But It's a power that the Z fighters, apart from Piccolo and what's his name, Tien,
Yeah.
they don't use. But Krillin
Yeah. Krillin could use it.
uses it.
Gohan.
Yamcha uses
They
it
use it. Yeah.
because Yamcha studied under Master Roshi.
Yeah.
They came back.
Master Roshi can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, Master Roshi's the first one who did it.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi's father
Can do it. Yeah.
can do it. You know what I mean? It's a style like that.
Yeah.
And Gohan now comes to Gohan. It's like a family power now that gets passed down, right?
Yeah.
But it's very iconic to Goku.
Yeah. Very more so to Goku. For
Very iconic to Goku.
100%.
Goku barely uses anything else.
Well, Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb, yes, that's a last call. That's always a whatever thing. But this thing is always Kamehameha.
Yeah. Always.
Always. When Vegeta has a whole bunch of different fucking power. Vegeta has rapid.
Yeah. Rapid. Yeah.
Metallic gun.
Yeah. He has a lot.
This nigga has a lot. Never hits anyone. But look at it. But he has
Sit on my boy.
I love Vegeta, but his aim is like. But Vegeta knows he's so powerful that it doesn't matter to hit you. Like it could go next to you and blow the shit. Like it doesn't matter.
It is powerful attacks though.
Yeah.
All his attacks are pretty powerful. It just doesn't hit people a lot. That's true.
You know what I mean? Even Gohan has different power that Gohan used. Because Gohan has the big old bomb thing that he puts like this, similar to Vegeta's Gallic Blast. I'm fucking up the name.
Yeah, it's Gallic.
So,
Whatever.
Something like that. But Goku, nah, that nigga is always Kamehameha.
Yeah, always.
Very unique to him.
Very.
Just like you cannot see Jinwoo not saying arise before he fights.
Yeah. Or after he beats him.
After he beats him,
Yeah.
And collect his trophy. Like you cannot, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, that's very unique to Jinwoo.
But it's not a power system.
It's not a power system.
So I agree with you there. It's not a power
of
system.
him.
It's the only thing he can do as the
Yes.
Necromancer class.
And I can't put the system that he's using as a power system
It's not a power
for the
system.
world.
It's a power system for Jinwoo.
It's for Jinwoo.
Only.
The only thing I can say that's a power system there is the Awaken. The Awaken your.
It does happen to other
your
people.
Power. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can't even say it. Damn it. There's another example, but I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna say it. But the problem with this power too is the limit, and that's fine. They put a limit to it, but I think the limit is so like nobody can grow. If you awaken and all your power is a E or is a B, you can
And
like
you get lucky, you get reawakened.
that's about it. You can become the top E, but that's crazy. Imagine you're about an E and all you can come is a top E.
No, Jinwoo had the worst way. He wakens the first time and he's a bottom E.
Yeah.
He's the worst E of all time.
It's almost like you can train yourself to be the top person in that class, because they explained this. Just like the what's his name? I've been rewatching Solo Leveling in dub.
Yeah.
I like it better sub.
Yeah.
Reason why I like it better sub, they've been cutting shit out in the dub, and I need to figure out why. Because I googled them, like, why is there certain like moments getting cut out for the dub? It's so stupid. It kind of kills it. Because I rewatched the fight with Tuss, the high arcs, and there's some moments that they cut out, like the girl when she almost like pissed herself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you gonna cut that out all because she looks like she's gonna piss her? I don't like they're cleaning it up too much, and I think it's because they're trying to get more kids to. Maybe they're trying to sell toys or something. I don't fucking know.
It's always toys.
But because of that, I enjoy the sub better.
Okay.
For me personally, but back to this.
Okay.
Back to this point.
What was the initial question you asked?
Well, the initial question is what makes what makes a power system
Yeah, I guess we answered that
in an anime
by talking about different anime.
unique.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the formula to make a power system unique does not mean it has to be something that's just for instance, the base of it doesn't have to be just out of nowhere. Meaning you don't have to, meaning you can use chi, but how are you going to use it? You can even use the whole
RPG, yeah.
RGP. You can use that system, but how are you going to use it?
Right.
You know what I mean? What example? Nin ability. Nin ability is used, but nin is still goes back to chi or ki.
Yeah.
But you know, when they say the life
That's another
force,
name for it.
but the way they were built around it.
Yeah.
Hockey is the same thing.
Beginning at the end, same thing.
Hockey, they took hockey. Hockey's from ki.
Yeah.
But here's the difference with hockey now. You evolve with hockey depending on your willpower.
Yeah, you will.
And if your willpower sets your hockey to a certain base level, which is extremely strong, because guess what? There's a certain power level of people that get to that can use hockey.
Right.
Because you can't just be just whatever to use hockey. But then now there's different tiers now you get to, like people who can use Conqueror's hockey.
Right.
Conqueror's hockey is for the people who ambition is just so well evolved and just so strong
ambition,
get
the highest ambition you could think
you
of.
can even have, that even
King of
goes
the
to
Pirates.
Supreme hockey. Exactly.
That's a really
Zoro wants to be the strongest sword fighter, and
that's
he
a
has
huge, massive ambition.
and he has Conqueror's hockey.
He has Conqueror's hockey.
Sandra doesn't have Conqueror's hockey. But guess what though?
Yeah.
Sanji
Yeah.
is such a pervert that he's the master of observation hockey. Nobody tops this nigga. Sanji can see you from miles.
You can see a set of breasts from 2 miles away.
From 2 miles. Any girl that's in trouble, for any woman, that dress may fall off by accident. Sanji's there. Him being such a pervert
That's what makes him so strong.
has made him so fucking strong when it comes to observation hockey. Sanji is gonna beat Luffy soon when seen in time, like to see ahead of time. Like Sanji's gonna be able to see 5 minutes of when a woman might fall in a skirmish. Like Sanji's gonna surpass Luffy's like 30 seconds.
That is so ridiculous.
Observation hockey wise, definitely that's what's gonna happen for fucking for Usopp. Observation hockey is his thing, and the reason why Usopp is unlocking his observation hockey because he's a sniper. You know what I mean? And that's his main thing.
Yeah.
I just want to wrap up. To wrap up, my final thoughts of it is this: creating a unique power system in an anime does not mean every single aspect of it is brand new.
Okay.
Meaning just the base of it.
Yeah.
But if you take a concept of something, you can take a concept of something, which is the example is chi, you know what I mean, or ki of how you use it, and developing your own thing, or taking the concept of eating and becoming eating and then gaining power from it. But when you do that, and for us as viewers, that what we like, and I've researched this because what they say, which is what drives people to it, is that people love to see sacrifice, consequence, the growth. It can't just be something that you take, you're almighty strong already, and that's it.
There's no drawback.
There's no drawback. Yeah. There should be something that you need to overcome. Our next episode, we're gonna dive more deep into this because we're gonna talk about what makes what is it that makes a main protagonist great? Like what is the formula to create a good main protagonist? I call them, protag-kun.
What? You just made up a word?
Pro-kun. What makes a good pro-kun and protag-kun? You know what I call the isekai trucks?
What, trucks?
The truck that always what
do you call it?
Isekai them? Truck-kun. I was like, look out for truck-kun. But either way, I feel that the uniqueness is how you take a concept. That's when we talk about this with comedy, bro. How many stuff can we really talk about that nobody has ever talked about?
There's really nothing.
There's really nothing.
Yeah.
But our experience with it,
yeah,
or take on it will be unique.
Yeah.
And that's what is needed
Right.
to make a power system unique.
Right.
If you guys think different, let me know. Honest to God, I'll read your whole comments because I've been reading all of it. Even if it's like, fuck you, you're gay, I'll still read it.
I just don't care.
My sexuality has nothing to do with my anime taste, by the way, people.
Right,
Stop doing that.
And it's opinion.
I'm sick of it.
It's fine. We're not going to all disagree or agree. We're not going to we all do disagree, but we don't have to always agree.
Exactly. What's your final thought?
My final thoughts on all this is that I think unique is when an anime figures out a way to put a twist to an idea, like the power fantasy concept, which is what Solo Leveling is really based on. The power fantasy it has a good twist to it, and it's really well executed. I like the way they described it. It's just very well executed in terms of portraying a power fantasy that we want to enjoy, and that's why it's so popular. But I also want to put this caveat in here too. I think animes could be great without having all the ingredients of another anime, right? It's all based on what the story creator or writer wants to put in the anime. They want to tell a story about an individual, not about the world. So there's not a lot of world building. Okay, that's fine. Something could be great without all that, right? Mm-hmm. Free Ren is a great example. It's a lot of world building in the beginning. And you're like, all right, when are they going to get to the fighting? When are they going to get to the... And it eventually does that. But you don't need that all the time because that's the decision of the writer to write a story based on those type of things. So to me, when we argue about what's great, what's not great, what's comparative to blah, 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 yeah, it's going to be based on whatever the writer decides the story they want to tell. But also, it could be great without having all the same similar...
This is what I got to tell people.
That each other has.
This is what I got to tell people. People got to understand this. As popular as Naruto is, as popular as Bleach is, as popular as One Piece is, there are a lot of people who hate it because at the come to the day, a lot of it can be.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of hate for those too.
A lot of it can be subjective.
Yeah, subjective. Yeah.
There's no problem with that.
Yeah,
it's understandable. Everyone has different tastes.
Yeah,
but what's not subjective is its popularity and its success. You cannot deem something success and popularity based off your opinion, which is why I'll never do that to Solo Leveling because I can't
argue against that.
I can't argue against the success of Solo Leveling and how very well it's executed.
It's received.
It's received.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But based on my opinion, I can argue in how I
compared
feel.
to others.
Compared to others.
All short.
It falls short.
Yeah.
But also not even that far. Mm-hmm. I'm like an individual who says like it's the greatest story of all time. That's your opinion. Right. And I can argue with my opinion that to me it's not.
Right.
Is that me saying it's not a good story? No. Exactly. I'm just arguing it's not the greatest.
There you go.
And then I'm giving him my examples and you give yours. And then I'm like, all right, well, based on your argument, you haven't changed my mind.
We agree to disagree.
Exactly. Which is part of it. But you hate me because, and then start calling me gay. I was waiting for the N-word. So I'm like, it's going to come soon. As soon as white people start losing, they go nigga. Like, I was waiting for it, but it didn't happen. Thank God.
Can I say you lost because you started insulting first? That means you lost.
But
if we're having a debate and you start insulting, you lost.
It's just insane, bro.
It's insane.
It's just insane.
It's not necessary
that you went on that.
That's not the community we want to build. You know what I'm saying?
You know the next thing, and then you call me a virgin and gay. How can I be a virgin and gay? How is that possible?
How can you be a Christian and be a sodomite at the same time?
The act has to be complete for me to be gay. So obviously, if I'm gay, I'm not a virgin. So insult makes no sense, dude.
It's an oxymoron.
I stopped answering after he said I'm gay and a virgin. Like I'm like, okay, you're
man.
Nothing there. Either way. That's all I have to say on this. That's my take on it. We really appreciate everybody who's commenting, even all the haters. So keep doing it. It's good for us.
It's good for us either way.
Exactly.
That's true.
Thank you for listening every week, man. We really appreciate you guys. Like always, man.
Hell yeah.
Please follow us. Please like and share. Please comment. Please leave a review. Follow us on Anime Minority Report on everything. Anime Minority Report on Instagram. Anime Minority Report on Facebook. Anime Minority Report on TikTok. Anime Minority Report on YouTube. And follow me, Jade Eared, at Instagram. Jamie Eared on Facebook. Guerby.
Funny name, Guerby, on everything except for Facebook. It's just Guerby Laguerre on there if you want to follow me. You guys have been. Thank you for that. And we love you guys.
Peace.